Guys, it's your girl T. So everybody wanted me to come on here and talk about the whole situation that went down in Ferguson last night. As you guys know, I was up on social media and I was posting all the Sh00ting links to everything that was going on live. Last night was insane. This whole situation is crazy because it kind of started with a young man named Christian Taylor. He was a young black boy. He played football and he was shot 4 times by a police officer in a car dealership. There was also a young white boy that a lot of people are not talking about as well. His name is Zachary Hammond, and he was another young man who was shot. He was shot in a parking lot, supposedly during a drug deal gone bad. I want to go ahead and show you guys Zachary Hammond's story. I want you guys to check out this news clip and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
The night of July 26th is still a night of unanswered questions for the attorney representing 19-year-old Zachary Hammond's family.
This situation really was unnecessary.
Eric Bland is a lawyer based in Columbia. He FaceTimed with us today, saying Hammond's death at the hands of a Seneca police officer was the result of excessive force.
His life was not in danger. Excessive force was used here way beyond what was necessary.
But police tell us the opposite. In this interview with Fox Carolina Monday, Chief John Covington says Hammond sped toward the officer in the parking lot of a Seneca Hardee's when he was being confronted during a drug operation.
The driver accelerated and came toward the officer. He fired 2 shots in self-defense, which unfortunately was fatal for the suspect.
Results from an autopsy by the Oconee County coroner say Hammond was shot in the shoulder and chest, and that all other information will come from SLED, the investigating agency. This woman, Tori Morton, was in the passenger seat. She was later arrested on a marijuana charge. Bland says he ordered a second autopsy and claims the results were different.
We have examined the body. The first shot was in his left rear shoulder, and the second shot was under his left armpit, through his heart, through his lungs, and into the passenger seat. So it's physically impossible for him to have shot at the victim with the entry wounds to the bullet.
Bland says police aren't telling the whole story. Police would not comment today as SLED investigates.
All right, so you guys just saw Zachary Hammond's story. And now it's come out that basically Christian Taylor, the young black guy who got killed, there's new surveillance showing him at this dealership. For some reason, he pulled up to the car dealership. He got out his truck. He started jumping on top of cars, breaking car windows. I don't know what was wrong with this young man. I don't know if he was high out his mind. Either way, it doesn't warrant him being killed. I want you guys to go ahead and check out this news clip. I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
This week in another incident under the microscope, this time in Texas. Here's ABC's Candace Gibson.
Surveillance cameras at this Dallas area car dealership capturing some of the final minutes of 19-year-old Christian Taylor's life. Taylor, a college football player, exits his dark Jeep and hops over this barricade into the parking lot. Police receiving a call early Friday morning of a possible burglary in progress.
They advise the suspect's trying to get into the vehicle through the windshield.
Watch as Taylor jumps repeatedly on the windshield of this gray Mustang, peels back the cracked glass before walking off. He returns to his car, drives it through the barricade and around the parking lot and through the glass showroom. Officers respond.
They made verbal contact with Mr. Taylor through the glass wall, instructing him to lie on the ground. Mr. Taylor was not compliant.
The surveillance cameras do not show what police call a confrontation between Taylor, who was unarmed, and 2 officers, 49-year-old Brad Miller and his field training officer.
We got shots fired.
Miller firing 4 rounds, striking Taylor multiple times.
The decision to use deadly force is one of the most difficult and scrutinized actions a police officer will ever make.
The FBI now investigating Taylor's death, adding fuel to protests in Ferguson, marking the anniversary of Michael Brown's death.
Miss you, boy.
Former officer Darren Wilson cleared of wrongdoing, the town erupting in violence. Ferguson further igniting the Black Lives Matter movement. A Washington Post analysis shows 24 unarmed black men shot and killed by police this year alone, a statistic not lost on the youngest.
I think I'm going to get killed.
That's how you feel as an 8-year-old?
Yeah.
Some tense hours ahead here in Ferguson, with protesters expected to return to the police headquarters later on tonight.
You guys just watched that news clip of Christian Taylor, and a lot of people are really confused by his actions. Folks are saying it doesn't make any sense. That's not like him. So I don't know if this young man was drunk, if he was high, but I don't understand why he would drive to a dealership, leave his car there, break some car windows, and then basically plow through the dealership window. I mean, the whole situation is insane. I don't know if maybe he had some type of mental illness issue that the family's not talking about to the media. It just seems like all these cases just makes no sense how every other day there's some type of police shooting in the national media. You guys saw in that news clip, they said this is 24 men in the past year have been killed by police. So I mean, it just seems like it's getting worse and worse. But I think the most disturbing thing that happened last night is that, initially when everything was going down in Ferguson, there was a lot of peaceful protesting. A lot of people out there, they were there to commemorate everything that happened to Mike Brown a year ago. They did the 4 minutes of silence to basically represent the 4 hours that his body laid there. Now, the news media wasn't really covering that, during the day when folks were out there, basically peacefully protesting, peacefully marching, peacefully having a one-year visual. The media wasn't really covering that, but once the darkness fell, here came all the anarchy and all the craziness that went on. I sat and I watched a lot of different live feeds, and it was just really crazy to see a lot of these agent provocateurs, once again, who have nothing to do with the protest, who were not there for Mike Brown. You had teenagers trying to loot once again. You had this shooting that went viral, and everybody was putting the pictures of Mike Brown and this other guy back to back, and they were saying, a year later, it's still the same old thing. And this guy, he goes by the name Swag something, but he basically caught everything on tape after the fact. And so he's filming everything. He's demanding that the police officers get this man help, and the police officers are basically arresting him for basically interfering. I want you guys to go ahead and check out his video clip, and I'm gonna come back with the rest of my commentary.
Hey, he's bleeding. Get him some help, man. Please get him some help. He's bleeding out, man. Please get him some help, man. Please get him some help, man. Please get him some help. He's bleeding out, man. You see it. He's breathing, man. Please get him some help. Please get him some help. It's a crime scene. Back up. Man, get him some help. Back up. Get him some help. Back up. They don't want to get the man some help. You see him breathing, man. You see he's still alive. He's still alive. Get him some help, man. Get him some help. Now. Get him some help now. He's still alive, man. They'll work. He's still alive. Man. Do not resist. It's behind your back. You are under arrest. Back up. Back up.
You guys just saw his video clip, but now it's coming out, now that there's more information. The guy that was laying there on the ground in red, he's in the hospital now, but they're saying that he was not one of the protesters. He was in a shootout with another rival, gang or another rival group, and then they started trying to shoot at the police. So it was just a lot of chaos going on, and the news is covering that as well. I want you guys to go ahead and check out these 2 news clips. I'm gonna come back with the rest of my commentary.
Explaining to them their rights, and we just want to be as patient as possible.
Message to those who are looting.
Not gunfire.
Cover, guys. Come back over here. Get down.
County Police Chief John Belmar told us the person who was shot was involved in a shootout between 2 groups just before he was injured. The chief told us the man eventually ran away from the shootout before taking aim at an unmarked SUV that contained 4 officers. The officers shot back and gave chase before they ended up eventually hitting the suspect. Our Casey Nolan tells us that happened about 100 yards away from the protest line. We know he's currently, that man who was shot, is in the hospital, once again, in critical but unstable condition. We also just learned from the St. Louis County Police Department that he will be identified this morning once he has been charged. Chief Belmar told us a little bit about this man during a press conference 2 hours ago.
Yeah, they were criminals. They weren't protesters. Protesters are people that are out there that are talking about a way to affect change, whatever that may be. That's not what's happening here with folks that are doing that.
All right, so you guys just checked out those news clips, and like I said, you know, the whole situation is disturbing. That once again, they're taking the memory of Mike Brown, they're taking the memory of everything that went down, of everything that sparked Black Lives Matter, which was initially started as a positive movement, and once again, it's being tainted. Everything was going good, the news media wasn't there to cover that, but then once darkness fell and all the drama came, the news media had no problem blasting all that to the world, and now everybody's focusing about this one man getting shot by the police. Everybody's focusing on the shootings that took place last night and all the negativity, but nobody's focusing on everything that went good during the day. And I think that's the part that bothers me the most, because I was keeping up with everything throughout the day as far as the protests, the marches, and everything else.
Leave it by the door. You don't want to know it's outside. No, I don't want to take it outside, bro. I want to stay in. Fine. Fine.
I got you. Hey, Cedric.
Hey, off the line, bro.
Off the line, that way.
Off the line, off the line.
That way.
We're having these out right here. Yeah, when there's about 80 people come in, they're just gonna come inside.
Yeah, they're gonna try to knock the fucking door down.
That's what happened last time.
I swear they don't give a damn.
Stay in this suit.
Look at that shit, man. Fuck that, man.
No, inside we can do not everything.
Ain't no fun standing on a motherfucking lot.
I'm telling you, why would you tell
that
the police said
this is
everybody
necessary.
move over
Right.
from
Just I told you I get off my lot.
Two people guarding the door outside, 2 people guarding the door inside.
You need to get in here.
Who car's still down there?
And I believe that a lot of good came from the 1-year anniversary, but unfortunately, it's being overshadowed by all this other bullshit.
We had a number of demonstrators who hopped over the fence, and sort of some of them sat in. There were some chanting, there were songs, there was drums, and at first the response was from the police officers who actually guard, Federal Protective Service officers, court security, that sort of thing, who were responding to this. And then at some point we saw a large, massive group of police officers from the city move in, and that's when the arrest started taking place. And as
they've shut down all 8 lanes of the highway.
Your stuff. Let's go.
I'm working on it.
Stop videotaping. Let's grab our stuff and go.
Right to videotape you, sir?
Hurry up. Let's go.
Please don't leave her gun on me.
Let's go.
You see me working. Please do not tell me not to use my
It's time to go.
Right?
Let's go.
Please not wave a gun at me.
We're down to about 45 seconds. Let's go.
Now, is the street? Can I ask
Let's
you,
go. Let's go.
I'm trying to
We
ask
don't have time to ask questions. Let's go.
Close. Can I move my car?
You can move your car if your car's out here. Let's go.
It is. That's what I was asking. You didn't have time to answer that?
Let's
Or
go.
you're just being mean?
Let's go.
I'm working on it, sir.
Let's go. There's a door over here.
I know where the door is. Thank you.
Let's go.
I'm gonna watch this.
Let's go. You can move. Let's go. Move.
Sir, please.
Let's move. Let's move.
Sir,
Let's move this way. Here, here's the door. This way or this way?
I was not right. Do you know what just happened? I need my bags back. You just it's on the ground right there. Someone grab it. He grabbed it right there. He has it in his hand. He has it in his hand.
No, he got it right there.
Officer, what's your name? Officer, what's your name?
Fuck the police. What I'm gonna do a bitch in the head. Fuck the police. Fuck.
Oh, they're shooting mace. Holy shit. Holy.
Back up. Back up. Hey!
It's just a shame that so much stuff is going down with the police nowadays. The whole situation is just sad that so many people are losing their lives to just unnecessary police violence and unnecessary violence in general. So anyways, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. I want to know your thoughts on everything that went down last night in Ferguson. Were you watching the live feeds? Were you watching everything go down? And then how do you feel about the media only focusing on the shootings and only focusing on the negative aspect, but not talking about all the positivity that went on during the day? So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. All right, deuces. Hey YouTube, it's your girl Lovely T, and you can show me some love by hitting that subscribe button, watching my previous videos, and following me on social media.